If you've been diagnosed with SIBO and nothing you've tried has worked long-term, this video is going to explain exactly why. And I'm going to say something that goes completely against everything you've heard about SIBO. Whether or not you have SIBO actually doesn't matter. So stick with me because this is the reason so many women stay stuck for years. If you're new here, my name is Brooke. I help women who have been dealing with chronic diarrhea, bloating, cramping, or constipation finally have normal bowel movements again, often after they've tried everything. And SIBO is one of the most common diagnoses that I see, and it's also one of the most misunderstood. SIBO stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. That's it. It simply means that bacteria that normally live in your large intestine have migrated up into your small intestine where they don't belong. But here's the problem: that diagnosis alone tells us almost nothing. A SIBO breath test only tells us that something is overgrowing. It does not tell us which bacteria are involved, whether yeast or candida are present, whether mold or fungus is involved, parasites, what allowed that migration to happen in the first place, what's happening to your gut lining, or why your bowel movements are off. It's a yes or no test with no useful detail. So when a SIBO test comes back positive, what usually happens next? Doctors throw Xifaxan at it. And let me ask you a real question. Does it make sense to take an antibiotic when you don't even know what you're treating? They don't know which bacteria. They don't know why it overgrew. They don't know how much bacteria is in there. Is it off the charts or is it just a little bit? They're just hoping to kill something. And that's why so many people feel a little bit better temporarily and then everything comes right back. This is the part that I really want you to hear though. Don't get caught up in, do I have SIBO? It truly doesn't matter. SIBO is not the root problem. It's a symptom of an unhealthy gut environment. And that's why standard SIBO treatments don't work long-term for anybody. At best, they give temporary relief. What actually matters is the overall environment in your gut. We need to know, are there bacterial pathogens present? Is there candida or yeast? Mold or fungus? Are parasites involved? What does the gut lining look like at a microscopic level? What do your short-chain fatty acids look like? Are keystone bacteria present? These are the bacteria that keep everything else in check and regulate our bowel movements. When we have that data, we can finally create a laser-focused plan. Here's a case study from a real client of mine who was told she had SIBO, but none of the treatments were giving her long-term relief. The diarrhea and bloating just kept coming back. We ran some advanced stool tests on her and found out that she had Klebsiella, Citrobacter, Enterococcus bacteria, Candida overgrowth. SIBO breath tests don't pick these up, and neither does blood work, colonoscopies, or the stool tests that your doctor does. Once we had this information along with data on her fatty acids, enzymes, her gut pH, and more, we were able to implement a targeted protocol that finally got rid of the constant diarrhea and bloating she had had for years. Now she's having normal formed bowel movements. And this is also why low FODMAP doesn't work. You can't eat your way out of candida, parasites, or bacterial overgrowths. Diet is important, but it doesn't address the root cause. And in my opinion, low FODMAP became very popular because some people felt some relief from it sometimes. But it doesn't fix the problem. It's lacking necessary nutrients that we need long-term. It's not sustainable long-term, and it does nothing to correct bacterial overgrowths, yeast, mold, parasites, or damage to your gut lining. Most of the women who come to me have already tried eating low FODMAP, some of them for several years, and they saw zero meaningful change. If they do feel better, they've noticed that as soon as they get back off of it, they feel bad again. So this is exactly why I don't run SIBO breath tests in my practice. The diagnosis of SIBO means very little to me. What I care about is getting the right data, because the right data leads to the right plan. If you've been stuck cycling through breath tests, antibiotics, and restrictive diets, you're not broken. You were just never given the information that your body actually needed. And once you stop chasing labels like SIBO and you start fixing the environment, everything changes. If this video helped you, hit like so YouTube shows it to more women who need to hear this, and subscribe if you want more honest gut health education that actually explains why you're sick, not just what to take. And check out the link below if you want to see how I help women finally have normal bowel movements again.